If you're a healthcare practice, a security risk assessment is not optional. It's a core HIPAA requirement, and one of the most common areas where organizations fall short. But this is where many teams freeze. They hear security risk assessment and imagine a giant technical exercise full of jargon, spreadsheets, and consultants. It doesn't have to feel that way. At its core, a security risk assessment answers one question: where could patient data be exposed, changed, lost, or unavailable, and what are we going to do about it? Think of it like walking through your practice with a flashlight. You're not trying to prove you're perfect, you're trying to see clearly. Because you cannot protect what you have not identified. Under HIPAA, the focus is Electronic Protected Health Information, or EPHI. That means patient information created, received, stored, or transmitted in your systems. If it lives on laptops, phones, cloud software, email, backups, or vendor platforms, it belongs in the assessment. A good assessment starts with scope. Where does EPHI exist? Who can access it? Which tools and vendors touch it? This inventory step sounds simple, but it's the foundation for everything that follows. Next, you look for threats. Some are obvious, like ransomware, stolen devices, or phishing emails. Others are quieter, but just as real, like power failures, software bugs, employee mistakes, or a laptop left open at the front desk. A threat is anything that could cause harm. Then you look for vulnerabilities. A vulnerability is the weak spot that gives the threat an opening. Weak passwords, no encryption, missing policies, incomplete staff training, unpatched systems, no agreement with a vendor that handles patient data. Threats are the bad events. Vulnerabilities are the open doors. After that, you measure the safeguards you already have. Maybe you use multi-factor authentication, backups, role-based access, or incident response steps. This matters because risk is not just about what could happen. It's about what could happen given your current controls. Now the assessment becomes practical. For each risk, ask two things. How likely is this? And if it happens, how bad would it be? That is how you turn a vague list of worries into priorities. High likelihood and high impact rise to the top. Low likelihood and low impact can wait. The goal is not to fix everything at once. The goal is to fix the right things first. Imagine a small dental practice. Charts live in the practice management system. Staff send reminders through a vendor. A doctor checks records on a laptop from home. Backups exist, but no one has tested a restore. Passwords are shared at the front desk during busy hours. In one short walkthrough, several risks appear. A lost laptop, weak access management, unverified backups, improper vendor controls. None of that requires a dramatic breach to matter. It only requires honest visibility. And that leads to the remediation plan. Some risks you mitigate, some you accept. Some you transfer with insurance or vendor controls. Some you avoid by changing the activity. But every important risk should end with an owner, an action, and a timeline. Otherwise, the assessment becomes paperwork instead of protection. Just as important, document everything. If OCR ever asks, you need to show your work. What did you assess? What did you find? What are you fixing, and when? If it isn't documented, it is very hard to prove it happened. There are a few common mistakes worth avoiding. Treating the assessment like a one-time event. Looking only at technical issues and ignoring people or physical access. Copying a generic template that does not match your real environment. Or finding risks, then never following through. A security risk assessment only creates value when it drives action.
So where does HIPAA Agent fit in? It takes the same required process and makes it easier to complete correctly. Instead of starting from a blank spreadsheet, practices move through guided questions tailored to how they actually work. Documentation is generated as the assessment is completed. Risks are scored in real time. Remediation can be tracked so nothing slips through the cracks. For many practices, that means finishing in under an hour instead of spending 20 to 40 hours doing it manually. So here is the simplest way to remember it. A security risk assessment is not a form. It is a map. It shows where patient data lives, what could threaten it, which weaknesses matter most, and what to fix next. Do it at least annually, update it when your environment changes,
and use it to make smarter decisions all year long. Because real HIPAA compliance starts the moment risk stops being invisible.